and welcome to the What's Up London show. I'm your host, Jen Slay. I acknowledge that London, Ontario is located on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, the Napawak, and Shenanton peoples on lands connected with the London Township and Sombra Treaties of 1796 and the Dish with One Spoon Covenant Wampum. I want to express my gratitude to the Indigenous peoples and their ancestors for what I and my family have received as settlers on this land. I also acknowledge my ancestors who came before me, who made many sacrifices to allow me to be here and have the opportunities that I am privileged to experience. Today, we have an interesting show. We're going to talk about decorating, we're going to talk about pancreatic cancer. We're going to talk about adoptions, and we're going to talk with the musical group who've been on the show before. There's no real theme, but some very important information to share. Take a look at our set. Isn't it nice? Our very own interior decorator, Kay Habib, is the visionary behind our set, and she does a phenomenal job. Hello, Kay.
Hi, Jen. I'm so glad to be back here.
Well, welcome back.
Thank
you for being here. And this is gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you.
You always do a phenomenal job. And my understanding is that you created that wreath behind us.
Yes, the wreaths are all done by me. Again, I'm always looking for something unique, and for something like a custom set like this, there's very particular vision that I have, and if I can't find it, I'll just make it. So I just went ahead and I grabbed a hula hoop, and then this came out of it after a couple hours.
Hula hoop.
Yes.
That's amazing. And so if people are decorative and want to decorate their homes but don't have the beautiful vision you have, what are some tips, some trends that are going on that they could probably use?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of things that I'm seeing right now is things that we already had last year and fall this year. A lot of rustic elements, a lot of natural woods, a lot of natural tones, natural textures such as fur and wool and things like that. They're staying for the Christmas, but then with a little bit of that festive vibe. So if you see, for example, in a lot of Christmas trees right now, in stores as well, if you go to Bouclair or Urban Barn and Home Sense, you will see a lot of flocked trees. So the theme is more like a Christmas winter wonderland. So that's what it's in right now this year. And whenever you're doing a tree or maybe like a garland, flocked is something that looks like this. So for example, even if you have like a green Christmas tree, you can have a flocking spray, and you can spray that like from last year if you have one, or if you're doing a natural one, you can actually spray that to make it look like the snow has just fallen on it. And they're actually available everywhere. Even in Walmart, you'll see a lot of flocked garlands and wreaths and Christmas trees. You will actually be able to get them in a very affordable price. Okay. And then you just go on there and just decorate with natural elements. White is also very popular. So this is white, and then a combo of white and very icy, snowy kind of green elements and wood textures is also very popular. So these are a couple of textures that are good for creating a wreath or decorating your tree, or even just doing something on your coffee table and things like that. And then natural woods. So in the Christmas trees, I'm seeing a lot of ornaments that are made out of wood. So you'll see the little heart next to you, or the little snowflakes right here made from wood itself. And that just brings in that Christmas vibe, but also not overly glittery and very shiny, but it just gives you that warmth of having that cozy feel in the space. Textures like wool, so a lot of sweater throws we're seeing everywhere. So these are from Urban Barn, and very natural tones. This has a little bit of blue in it, and this has some grays, because homes had grays in their like paint colors and interiors last year, so you can still keep that and then add a lot of warm textures to your space. So that's what I'm seeing. And pine cones. Pine cones are everywhere. So you can actually just go on a really nice walk and grab some pine cones from Springbank, or there's a lot of like scented ones, a cinnamon scent that makes your home smell beautiful as well. Awesome. So just stick with natural tones and then pick one accent color. So for example, I love the red in the Rogers TV. So we did some red accents here. We did some present for Rogers TV as well. And again, I used the initials in wood just to bring in that natural elements, but then just having a little bit of that red accent there. So you can
there's that rustic feel and the layering that you were talking about before.
Yeah, very Scandinavian cottage kind of style.
Nice. Well, we'll make sure to have your information on the screen so that people can contact you and donate. Thank you for being here again, and this is an amazing set.
Thank you, Jen.
We'll be right back.
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Now playing all Christmas music. Easy 1013.
Carbon monoxide is a deadly gas you can't see, smell, or taste.
Homes with fuel-burning appliances and/or attached garages must have working CO alarms installed outside all sleeping areas.
Don't let the silent killer get you. Install working CO alarms today.
You're watching Rogers TV, London.
Welcome back. Pancreatic cancer is a fast-growing cancer with one of the world's lowest survival rates. As one of the world's toughest cancers to beat, there is only a 10% 5-year survival rate, making the prognosis dismal. Our guests today are from the Baker Center for Pancreatic Cancer and are going to talk to us about what exactly pancreatic cancer is. They'll share the motivation behind the creation of the center and the CIBC $25,000 match program. Hello and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So let's start by sharing with the viewers what exactly is pancreatic cancer.
Sure. Pancreatic cancer, as you've already outlined, is one of the cancers with one of the worst prognosis of all the cancers that we see. Pancreatic cancer by 2030 will be the second leading cause of cancer death in Canada. What makes pancreatic cancer so difficult is that there aren't the usual early warning signs or screening or early detection that we see with other cancers. So that makes it incredibly difficult to treat. Sadly, about a third of patients never actually get to see a cancer specialist by the time it's figured out. So early treatment and early diagnosis of this disease is critical, and we definitely need new treatments for the disease as well.
Yeah. Is there any symptoms that people should watch out for or think about?
Absolutely. Pain in the midsection is often an early warning sign. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the first diagnosis, the first symptom of pancreatic cancer is yellowness of the skin or jaundice. And so certainly that should prompt people to take seek immediate medical attention. Mm-hmm. But unexplained weight loss is another cardinal symptom that I think gets under-recognized, and people should be thinking about pancreatic cancer if they develop some symptoms like that.
Right. And so the Baker Center, what is that about?
So the Baker Center was created in 2019 as a means of getting our specialists, our surgeons, our medical oncologists, our radiation oncologists, our nurses, and scientists to rally around this cause of pancreatic cancer. We realize that pancreatic cancer has among the worst prognosis. Instead of just shrugging our shoulders and saying, well, that's the way it is everywhere, we can work harder, we can work smarter. So it has rallied us around to focus our attention and work collaboratively to get patients diagnosed quicker so that we can initiate a treatment plan quicker. And London is getting increasingly recognized for our work. As Shelley would say, we've got London on the map for pancreatic cancer research. So it wouldn't have been possible without the Baker Center.
Right. And Shelley, you were going to share with us a story, Rick's story.
Yes, so I am Shelley Baker, and my husband was Rick Baker. He was diagnosed in February of 2016 with stage 4 pancreatic cancer with spread to his liver. And his story is actually quite incredible, and he had a lot of vision, a lot of strength, a lot of resource, and a lot of endurance. For a 52-year-old, fit, active, healthy individual, it was a pretty devastating and shocking diagnosis. And Rick looked at it and saw it as a problem that he needed to solve because Rick solved problems. He started his cancer journey at London Health Sciences, and Dr. Welch was his oncologist. He started with one of the 2 standard chemotherapy treatments, and he begun his 4.5-year journey. We were told early on by people at London Health Sciences, as well as colleagues we have in the US, to do genetic sequencing on his tumor, to learn as much as we can about his cancer, to see if there are different things that can target it. So many years went by, and fast forward 4 to 4.5 years, and Rick and I had visited probably 9 to 10 hospitals, mostly in the US, but we also went to Germany. He had multiple treatments. He was in clinical trials, surgery, radiation, and he was even in a single-person compassionate use trial, which was a trial just for him. Because of what we learned from his genetic sequencing, he actually harbored a rare rearrangement in his DNA that was able to be targeted. So for 2 years, he was on a number of targeted therapies. And these were not chemotherapy. So they were not as toxic at all like doing chemotherapy. And those were incredible years for us. We made really beautiful memories with our kids, our families, our friends. We traveled, we went to New Zealand and France and Italy. We cycled in South Africa. They were really, really special years because he was well, even though he had cancer. But unfortunately, after a few years, pancreatic cancer becomes resistant to the treatment. So he did end up having to go back on some chemotherapy. He was being treated in London as well as in the US for probably about 1.5 years. He tried a number of different chemotherapy combinations, including immunotherapies. And unfortunately, after 4.5 years, we lost him in September of 2020. So during COVID, even just a few months before he passed, he attempted a targeted treatment in Detroit during COVID. We flew over there to try something out, but unfortunately, he couldn't do anymore. So
I'm sorry for your loss, but he sounds like he's an incredible man.
He was. He was. And what we learned, though, was visiting all these hospitals, and some were very advanced hospitals in the US and in Germany, was that they all had specialized centers for pancreatic cancer right in their cancer clinics. And we saw the clinical trials they had, the way that patients were treated and come together with all of the disciplines. And we started chatting with Dr. Welch here, and Rick.
Birth of the Baker Center.
Yeah, Rick
Right.
felt that London could do better than what they were doing.
Okay.
And that most people couldn't do what we did.
Right. Well, thank you both for being here. Appreciate it. And so I'm sorry that we lost, but at the same time, what's come out of it seems to be absolutely incredible.
Yes.
And will hopefully save lives. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
The goal for a lot of patients that I see, most of the patients diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, unfortunately, is to buy time. And that is a worthwhile endeavor.
This November, we're asking for your help to raise funds and awareness to help fight the world's toughest cancer. CIBC is supporting the Baker Center for Pancreatic Cancer. We're going to match every dollar donated up to $25,000 for the month of November.
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Jeff from Chillin' and Grillin' with Jeff. We're back for season 3. We've had the opportunity to see some great backyards and have some great barbecue. Join us, Chillin' and Grillin' with Jeff.
I'm Mike Jack. I've broken multiple world records for eating some of the world's hottest peppers. Now, I'm challenging London restaurants to make some of the world's hottest food. Watch Jack Up the Heat Mondays at 5:30.
Hi, I'm Dan Mailer. I'm the host of London Lights, the show where we talk about notable Londoners who have made a big mark, big impact on the world of music, entertainment, sports, politics.
Your mouth can do a lot of amazing things. And your mouth can save a life.
Hi, I'm Tom Wong. I'm just one of close to 1,000 Canadians in search of a stem cell match. We need your help.
A simple swab is all you need to register on the National Stem Cell Database. You could be the one to save a life. Find the hero in you.
You're watching Rogers TV.
Welcome back. Have you heard that saying, blood is thicker than water? Well, not always. Family is not always biological. In more cases than you would think, creating a family has nothing to do with giving birth. November is Adoption Awareness Month. If you have ever known anyone who has been adopted or a family who has adopted a child, you likely have heard about the benefits and the incredible gift it is to adopt. Caitlin and Brittany are here today to talk to us about the incredible gift of adoption. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
So tell us about Adoption Awareness Month. What is it?
Yeah, so Adoption Awareness Month is celebrated pretty much across North America each November. And the purpose is really to highlight amongst children's aid societies the need for permanent homes for specifically older children and youth, larger sibling groups, or children of any age with complex needs that might include developmental, physical disabilities. So we really want to highlight the importance of permanency and the difference it can make for the whole trajectory of children's lives.
Yes, and then you mentioned older children, right? And oftentimes when people think adoption, they think, oh, I want to get the little baby, the newborn. But there are a lot of children who are older who need a home as well, right?
There really are.
Absolutely. My caseload and my job is to help find permanency in adoption homes for our older youth in care. I have approximately 9 to 10 youth between the age of 11 and 17 that I'm planning for currently. The beautiful thing about adopting an older youth is that they have to consent to the process and they want to be a part of the process, and you know that they're invested in it as well. So that's something beautiful that a younger child can't really say that they want. It's probably in their best interest, but that's one of the beautiful things about working with older youth.
Right. And so if someone was thinking about, you know, I'm considering it, thinking about it, I don't know, how can they get more information?
Yeah, so to get more information, I would encourage them to check out our website. caslondon.on.ca, and it kind of walks through the process there. So the first step is just giving me a call or an email, and my information is there to set up an inquiry meeting, and we use that time to go through any questions, hesitations, chat about the entire process, the training, the home study, and hopefully we can answer any of your questions there and see if it's a good fit for you, because we really need the right kind of person who really wants to help a child or youth in need, that can be flexible, affirming of who that child or youth is, and really accepting as well of their biological family or any connections that they have and want to maintain, because it's not about erasing a family, but adding to that youth's family and community.
Right. Yeah. When you think of an older child, and I'm thinking of when I went to university, right? And all holidays, I got to go home and all of that. But there's a lot of older children that don't get that. And so that's what I would imagine one of the beautiful benefits of a child being able to be adopted older, right? Is that they can have that place to call home.
Absolutely. And that is my goal, is to make sure that our youth that are leaving our system have people. And sometimes it's not just adoption. I work with youth who adoption isn't the route they want to take, but there's other amazing programs in this province. One's called Never Too Late, and they connect youth with people that want to be their family, whether adoption's the word or adoption's the process that's involved at all. Permanency and the need to belong is a biological need. And there's often fear about taking in older youth because of some of the behaviors or some of the things that they hear. But the reality is that when youth start to form permanent relationships that are trusting and that are healthy, those behaviors often decrease.
Right. And the agency is there to support families to make it work.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both so much for being here. Really appreciate it. And I'm hoping that people will see this and give you a call.
I hope so.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Most people that have received treatment for drug use problems are probably going to have a lapse.
Join addictions counselor Dean Anderson for Invisible, Breaking Through the Stigma of Addiction, on Rogers TV.
My dad was a railway porter. It was just about the only job a black man could get. But he had big plans for us. Music would be our ticket out of poverty. I knew we couldn't afford that piano, so I practiced twice as hard.
Nice, Daisy. Okay, Oscar, let's hear it.
Turns out I wasn't half bad. Then I found jazz, or it found me. It wasn't all easy, though. I faced a lot of hate, but I found my stage. They call me the man with 4 hands. Well, I don't know about that, but let's see how far this ticket takes me.
From Montreal to Carnegie Hall and far beyond, Oscar Peterson became one of the most recorded and celebrated jazz musicians of all time.
Night's action on Rogers TV.
Welcome back. The London Gospel Collective have burst on the London scene in a mighty way, having already performed at the Grand Theatre and hosting a debut concert that had guests jumping, dancing, singing, and crying all within the span of 1 hour. This group is dynamic, to say the least, and unapologetic in singing about their faith in a style that is not traditionally found here in London. Let's hear more. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you so much for having me today, Jen.
No problem. Nice having you back.
Thank you.
So for the viewers who have not heard about the choir, can you tell us a little bit about what the London Gospel Collective is?
Well, the London Gospel Collective is a group of faith-based people who get together and sing music that is joyful, exuberant, happy. It's all gospel-based, and it's all to glorify God.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And so they had their debut, or we had, because I'm in the choir.
Yes, you are.
We had the debut concert last month.
That was last month. It was November. Oh goodness, it was the middle of November. It was a Sunday night, and the church was full. It was held at Talbot Street Church, and there were a couple of hundred people in attendance, and everyone was just so happy from the start till the end. And even at the end, we could have kept going. It was just fantastic.
Yeah, and I remember everyone saying, so when's the next concert? When's the next concert?
Yes.
And so you're going to tell us, when's the next concert, Mark?
So our next concert is on Sunday, December the 4th at 7 o'clock p.m. at Aeolian Hall. It will be our Christmas concert. So we are very much looking forward to having another occasion to celebrate Christmas music.
Right. And so what kind of Christmas music can people expect to hear?
Well, there'll be a little bit of Preacher's Wife. There'll be some Kirk Franklin in there, just to give you a sample of what we are doing. So I think people will feel really overjoyed once they leave.
Right, awesome. And you're the musical director for the group?
I am, and Matthew Atkins is the artistic director.
Okay.
Yes.
And so how do you select the music for the choir?
Well, Matthew and I and the rest of the executive committee, we collaborate, and we bring our own ideas of things that resonate with us or things that we've heard in the past. And then from that list, we condense and then choose pieces that we think the choir would love to do, and it would resonate with their souls.
Right. So if Londoners wanted to have the choir come to their event or perform or anything like that, is that possible?
Absolutely. And actually, we have a social media presence on Instagram and on Facebook. And if you go to one of those sources, you will find our contact information about booking us for events.
Awesome.
Yes.
That is great.
Yes.
Okay, so from the beginning of the time that started practicing, which was back in the spring,
yes,
to now, have you guys been just amazed at the response that you've had?
We have been. I think we've taken London by storm. They were ready for something like this. It's been years in the making. So we hope to continue and flourish from that. So.
Awesome, wonderful. So what can we expect in the new year from the London Gospel Collective?
Well, I know that people are thinking of booking us for events for Black History Month, for Easter, and then we'll take it from there. But, you know, anything is possible at this point. Things continue to evolve.
That's right. And if people wanted to join the choir, is that still possible, or is the choir kind of set now?
So if people wish to audition, they can send Matthew Atkins or myself or one of the executive team an email, and we're looking at having auditions again in the spring.
Awesome. So one more time, when is the Christmas concert?
Sunday, December the 4th at 7 o'clock p.m. at Aeolian Hall.
Nice. I can't wait.
Neither can I. And you're in the choir, so you'll be jumping up too.
Yes, I will. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I look forward to being here again with you next week, and I ask that you please like, comment, and share this episode with your friends. Be well, take care, and I'll see you next week.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Rogers TV has given me the opportunity to be involved within my local community, where I have met plenty of new people, experienced new things. I have done various production roles such as graphics, live audio, and camera work. Recently, I have been a part of the London Knights Rogers TV crew, and I have had a wonderful time there, being part of such an amazing and diverse group of individuals. I highly recommend it.
Sometimes, for a wish to come true, it takes a kingdom, because together is stronger. Tied tight, united we stand.